What's up, everybody? We're just getting set up here. Hope you're doing good. How was your weekend? Switched over to OBS Studio here today, so hopefully everything's going to be good. Looks like it's okay so far. All right. All right, I don't need to hear me talking to myself in my ears there. There we go. Okay, looks good. All right, we're going to carry on working on our app here today. So when we last left this, I've made one change since then, and I changed the style for these text fields here, these inboxes. Let me zoom in here. You can see it. I've changed them to the rounded corner, and you do that just by saying, just using one of the built-in ones, text field style dot rounded border. That's all that is. So I added that to each of the ones on here. That's the only difference I've made between now and the last time you saw this. And we're going to carry on working on this here today. So let's go ahead and run this and see how we're looking. Actually, we'll go ahead and let's run this in Xcode 13. See if it's going to let us do it. Hit the plus. There we go. Okay. Now, we have this pop-up sheet here, but you can see that we do have some rather nasty padding there, or lack of, I should say. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by fixing that up just a little bit. Make this view look a little prettier. All right, there we go. Okay, so I think what we will do is we'll go ahead and for this whole stack here, we will add some standard padding. At the moment, nothing really stands out particularly well, right? If we go back and we run this here, you can see that when we hit the plus, yeah, we get this sheet pop up, which is all great. And of course, you click on one of these, you're going to get you would get the keyboard. It's not, I don't know why it's not working properly on my simulator here, but you would see the keyboard. Let me swipe down, get rid of this. But you can't really, it's not really, you can't really see too much of what's going on. So we're going to add some extra color and a splash of design, shall we say, today. That's what we're going to do here. All right. And let me know if the audio level's too high. I see it peaking up on the red. I don't want it to break up. So I'm going to drop it down just a small amount. We'll just drop it down just 3 dB. Like I say, I don't want to hit the red. Maybe a little bit more. Into the yellow. Yellow looks good, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now, it's kind of funny because I got to switch between the screens. Now, let's add some colors. And I was thinking about this, and I came up with some color charts the other day. And let's just show you what we've got here. We've got 3 palettes that I came up with, right? And I don't know which one I like the most. I don't think I like this one the most. It's either going to be these greens, although personally I'm leaning towards this one. And yeah, I think that's what we're going to go with. So let's start by adding these in, right? I'm just going to save me so I can copy and paste these values. I'm going to put this over here. And I'm hoping that the restream chat is coming through right, and that all the messages come through properly. It's supposed to pick up the ones from Twitch and everything and come through. Hopefully that's going to be the case. All right. Let me just test it. Yep, see if that message comes up. Yep, okay, good. That came up there. All right. So yeah, let's create some palettes here. Create the backing color. Whoops. Okay, there we go. Universal. Give me the hex. I want to. Where is it? You're not going to let me paste in the hex? Really? Oh, wait. Input method. There you go. Thank you. That's what I want. Actually, I'm not sure which one's going to be which yet. So I'm just going to call that color 1 for now. Hey, Coco Type, it is not. Oh, it's just incredibly tiny in an area that already has text. Oh yeah, okay. You know what? Hang on. It's down the bottom. I see it. Let me do this. Let me move it. Let's see if we can fix this up here quickly. Oh, I know why, because I shrunk the window. Hold on. Give me 1 second to fix this. I'll be right back. All right. Oh, it's a little small still, isn't it? Let's see. I changed the font size. I don't know if you typed that before or after. So it's really small on my screen because the whole window is really small. We'll see if it gets bigger. Let's see. It's a bit bigger. I don't know. The whole window, I got a tiny window here. All right. I can make it bigger still. Hang on. Well, I would if I could find my browser window. Here it is. No, wait, that's not the one. Maybe I closed it. All right, hold on. Oh, actually, I think I can do it over here. Let me... Appearance. Let's make it 150. That should be reasonably big. Wow, he really just loves those caps, doesn't he? Yeah, your message, I mean, it's like, you know, message to the nation. Got to be big. All right, let's see what that does. You want to send another message? See how big that looks? Now I got to watch the other screen, see? Well, that seems reasonably bigger, right? Yeah, we know you like the caps. Yeah, we noticed that. Actually, I think I can... Hold on. I think I should be able to apply custom CSS here. Hold on. Okay, I just want that to go away. Please go away. Nope. Oh, holy cow, it's huge now in my chat app. You know what though? I bet, hang on, properties, I should be able to fit, see, here's the thing. I can put in a custom CSS, but I don't know what I'm targeting here. So let's just try it. I'll just try targeting the P tag. All right, let's set it to 16 pixels. See what that does. You got 10K CSS. I believe you. I actually think that you don't even need the points, you know. Let's see. Let's see if that's any bigger. It said it's I don't know if it's going to kick in or what. I just targeted a generic P tag, so. We'll have to try to force Cocoa Type to have an opinion on something type of message. Look at it. Look how big it is in the app, right? Look at that. And I can also probably, let me see if I make it, I don't have any hot sauce English. I'll make it bigger, but what I need to do now is change the width because it's really big. Hang on. All right. Okay, awesome. Actually, I could even go a little bit bigger. The problem with that is there's not a lot of text in that window before it's going to go to the next line. Actually, you know what? Hang on. You know what I can do, right? I could do this now. Let me think. I could put it back. Let me think this through. Put it back like that. And then I can move it back down here again. And it should be very legible down there now. Until I start typing some code. Yeah, we don't do hot sauce. Ketchup. That's what we got. That's what we live with. All right, there we go. I think... Let's see how that does for us. I was trying not to give it a background color because then it just takes up screen space we may want for something else one day for some reason. All right, let me do that. I've also got to open up that so I can capture the values. There we go. Let's just get these colors over here in. And then once I've got all the colors in Xcode, we'll take a look at this. Whoops. No, not an image set. I don't know what you could do for me. Like, I don't know what I'd do instead of... all right, let's type that one in. I don't know what it would have to be instead of hot sauce, because it's just a complete non-starter if we did hot sauce for me. I don't know, sips of Earl Grey. Does that work? I don't think it does. It doesn't seem that hard at all. Not a big fan of Earl Grey, but there you go. And one more. That one right there. Can I come up with better names for these? All right, got our 5 colors. Get all this out the way. You grew up relatively near a city that banned... Wait, what? Banned ketchup for being a fake condiment. I have no respect... Wait, you have no respect for the city or no respect for ketchup? And also, I'm not going to ask you to name the city, but shame on them. All right, let's look at these. They banned ketchup. That's ridiculous. That's... If it wasn't for the fact that I can believe in America that would happen, I'd say it's not true. But it's America. Oh, look, that kicked in twice. Okay. Hey, Nicholas. Yeah, banned ketchup. It's ridiculous, right? Wait. Now, if that's coming up twice, I know how to stop that. I think. Maybe. Hang on. Put it on the screen where I can read it. Yeah. But what's wrong with those people? I don't know. It's just weird. All right. You know, it just struck me. There's no way in Xcode to make these bigger, right? These previews? I guess not. Trying to find the one that I feel like would make a reasonable background color. I really don't want it to be gray. That's not bad, but... What about if I took this one? I'm going to mess with the color set here, even though it was... I'm going to take that one and... Let's... Is that too much alike any of the others? No. Okay, so we're going to use this as the view backing color. Okay. All right. And then let's go back here. Now, do I want that as the... Let's start by putting it as the backing color for this view. Which, if I'm going to remember this rightly, I got to think if I did this as a Z-stack or as an overlay last time. All right, I'll click it. Oh, I'm assuming it's opening up somewhere. Hang on. Oh, where is it? It is considered bad manners and harmful to your taste buds to put ketchup on your hot dog. Of all things that play well with ketchup, surely we can all agree hot dog has to be one of the top contenders, right? No? I mean, what's next? Nope, sorry, no ketchup, no mustard. You're just going to have a hot dog with nothing on it, right? Is that really? I hope that these people were voted out of office. That's nuts. And who the hell gave this a like? Oh my god. What is wrong with people? All right. This is Xcode 13. So I don't know if in Swift, what is it, Swift 5.7 with Xcode 14? I can't remember. I think that's right. But I don't know if there's is there a universal way to set a background color on the view yet? I don't think there is, right? You still have to do it via excuse me. Sorry, you're just wrong. Me? I'm just wrong, or they're just wrong? Hopefully they're just wrong. I think... Yeah, I don't think this works still, right? Color by name. View backing. Ketchup is for 5-year-olds and other people with underdeveloped taste buds. Like the English. Hey, I appreciate that you went as far as to say they're underdeveloped and that we actually do have some. All right, I think you have to do this as an overlay, right? I could do the Z stacking thing just to... Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do the Z stacking just to annoy Cocoa Type, because if I remember rightly, Cocoa Type, you don't like the Z stack way of doing it here, right? If I remember rightly. I think this still works. Oops. Once I set this to... I'm almost afraid to look over at the chat in case to see what he said. Entirely sure what you're even trying to do, so I can't help. Okay. Sorry, I was just setting the background color of the view, which is not what happened. Excuse me, sorry. I was just trying to remember how I did it last time. I don't think... It's not the list. I actually don't want to set it on the list because I want the whole view to have it, right? And I think we did it... I think we did it... Well, I know you could do it with the Z stack, right? And then you tell it to ignore the safe area and it'll go outside of it. But I don't think I got it right here. Thank you. Yeah, please look it up. The two ways I've done it in the past. One is with the Z stack, which just feels dirty. And the other way may still have been a Z stack, but it had a background with an overlay. But you don't. I don't want to do it on the list because then I need it to go out. I really want it to go outside of the safe zone, which is why I was adding the rectangle. Oops. Give me 1 second here. I'll be right back. I got to grab something. All right. Needed my bottle of water. But I really don't want to do Z-stack. Caps time. You can do caps anyway, even though I'm back. Pretend like I'm not. Actually, I just always pretend like I'm not here. Set some color on the list. It'll be that gray where the list is. Yeah. Okay, fair point. The list, let me clean this up. Hold on. Let's get rid of the Z-stack. The list is going to need the same background color, right? Let me get rid of the rectangle. Right, so yes, the background color for the list will need to be the same by name. Oh, whoops. What I call it? View background. Lowercase? No. Oh, it didn't. Actually, it didn't give me the color. That's what I was expecting to see. How did I screw it up? Because if you do it over here, things get weird. Right, if you do it over here, oh, okay. Oh Lord. This is where the UI doesn't update itself. Well, it did it that time, but I'm not seeing it. That should have done it. I think I maybe definitely don't want it on here. That is not what I want, because then you're going to get that, and I don't want that at all. View backing, no view background. Thank you. Yeah. Scroll background color is the new thing. And wait, oh, hold on, I don't know this one. So, but scroll background color in iOS 16. Just out of curiosity now, is that to set the background of the scroll bar or the whole scroll view? And I ask that question because it sounds like you looked it up. Although this isn't the late, yeah, this is iOS 15. Not that there's any reason I'm not targeted 16. I'm just not doing it in this one. Oh, it's the background of the scroll view. Okay, that is cool. About time we got that. Shame they can't just give us an app background color, though, right? But give me a second. Right. It was previously impossible to directly set the background of a list that grey color. You had to do it in UIKit. I do remember there was some jump arounds. Maybe it was you that I watched do it. I can't remember, someone. And yeah, it was like, this should not be this hard, right? Let me start by getting rid of that. Right, and then got it wrong again, didn't I? View backing. I mean, I only named the darn thing. But I'm curious why that doesn't come in there. Because if I put like, oops, wait. Sorry, I got too many. Now, the question is, what does he run out of this week for dinner? That's going to be the thing. When he gets back, he'll tell us. Maybe he'll tell us. Oh, resume, please. No, still not there. I don't think that's the problem, because if I set, like, if I did not the same one I just did, but if I specify, let's just say, right? I don't want to mess with that. If it had a UI color of, say, red, he had everything. Outstanding. Way to be organized. Actually, couldn't you just do... See, and that's not turning red, because I got something wrong. Oh, well, he had almost had everything. Well, didn't have the food. Didn't have the plate. Didn't have the knife and fork. I don't know, one of those. Ignore safe area, blah, blah, blah. I don't think this is the problem. But let's just make it slightly smaller just for now, just so I can, right? Yeah, see, they do a Z-stack. You know what? Maybe I've made this harder than it needs to be, actually. Maybe, yeah. Maybe I don't even need that, right? Let's just go back. Here I am putting a shape in, but maybe I don't need to. Oops. Oh, that's right. I remember this now. This weird thing about it touching the edges. Yeah. Yeah, hang on. This does ring a bell somewhere along the way. You also seem to have forgotten way to get hot items off the grill into the house without burning one's hands. Ah, you remember those things called gloves? You were so amazed by what was going on here that you just totally lost all common sense, right? That's probably what happened. Oh, you know, I had a crazy thought. Hang on. Totally forgot I was doing this in a navigation view. That's... Can I just set it for the navigation view? Couldn't be that easy, right? You decided to give up common sense in solidarity with the streamer. Every time I sit here questioning, like, common sense, not really using any, am I? Yeah. Alright, I was wondering if the problem was that I needed to do something weird, like have the Z-stack outside of there like that, and what that might do to everything. Right, and then if I put inside the Z-stack here, I'll just take their example here. But now, that doesn't work either. Which, I'll be honest, I didn't think it would. I've never seen it done that way. The overlay is the way that I've seen it done before. What I don't, they just have this weird color sitting here like this. and then they overlay the content on top. All right, I haven't seen that before. Let's try that. All right, I'm going to make this bigger. I've already forgotten where I'm going to put this. Inside the view. And then everything else goes in there. Yeah, I did not think that that was... Just, sorry, I put that in the wrong place, I think. Well, you know what? Hang on. Let me open... this one. I know I did it in this one. I just got to remember which view I did it on. It was this one, yeah. Yeah. Fill, that's right. Wasn't the background, it was the fill. Let me... may not want to put it in here. We'll see. See, I'm wondering. We'll do a little experiment here. While I'm here. Oh, whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Got it working over here. Under penalty of more hot sauce. Say what you think, Coco Type. Say what you think. Also, credit, because I like the fact that you threw in the digging around phase there to really bring it home. But it worked here. But here it's not in a navigation stack, and I'm wondering if that has anything to do with it. But he does promise us. And if Coco Type promises, we can pretty much ignore it. Well, also, remember, it's not just the background color of the list. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's not just the list, right? And this is not a list. Now, all right, I think we're on the same page. But the only way I've pulled this off before is with the Z stack. Just saying. By the way, does anyone know, can you like write a behavior in Xcode or something so that every time you save a file, it'll re-indent the code automatically? Anyone know if that can be a thing? And I was thinking about this the other day, whether this needs to be a list or could do this a different way. It is the list though. That gray color on your new app is coming from the list. Agreed. But if I, like, just for argument's sake, right? Let's just say. Actually, we did background, but you know what we didn't do? We didn't do fill. But actually, it's not coming up on that list either. I feel like these are always the most annoying things for me to fix with SwiftUI. Everything else sails on through. Wait, what's going on over there? Gotta admit, I was expecting to make more progress before now. You know what? We'll come back to the color. A couple of things I wanted to do here. I don't like how close these two items are. Right? So, let's fix that. I want the bottom edge of there just to have a little more. Not sure how much though, so let's see. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong thing. I actually meant to do it here. Maybe a bit too much. It's better. Kind of feel like I want a little bit under there as well. Now I feel like it might be too much at the top. Yeah, that feels a little bit better. I don't even know why I got this on here. I don't even need this anymore. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, I do need that. That's for the details view. I haven't done that yet, have I? And I feel like I want to do something a little more impressive than this for the plus. What I had in mind was like a plus button that floated over the top down here, right? So the table would sort of go behind it a bit and it would have this plus button. You know, like how the Gmail has like the plus button that floated, well, whatever it is. Menu, new button, whatever. In the corner here sort of floats on the top. I thought it might be kind of nice to have something like that. Something a little bit more down the bottom where you would hit it with your thumb, something like that, rather than in the top corner. That's what I'm thinking anyway. So for that, let's try and sketch that out quickly. Got our list view. So to make that work, what I need to do here, put this back to 10 items so that it flows off the screen on the preview. Well, okay, more than 10. And then like the plus would float down here above the home. All right, thank you. List blah 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 on appear. UI table view. Oh, UI table view appearance background color equals 15 and below. For 16, you need the new thing I said earlier. I like the new thing. That's a lot cleaner. But thank you, sir. I am going to grab this. Let's try this quickly. Find the end of my list right there. Let's clean that up a bit. All right, what's missing? Oh, look. There's one missing right there. Oh, now I see it on there. Ugh, don't like that color. But it worked. Thank you. Yeah, that... Hmm. Well, let's keep going. I am probably going to change that color. Thank you. Yeah. Who knows? By the time I get around to finishing this, maybe 16 will be a thing and it won't matter. Yeah, no, I figured it out. Thank you. Yeah. I had toyed with, I was playing around with some designs, and I had toyed with separating them out as little like notes as opposed to like a continuous list like that. And I really don't know which one I prefer. But let's get no hot sauce. I don't have any. And yeah, none for you either. Whew, that ketchup is hot. um, yeah. Do I want to flip this around the other way and make the blue? Happy Kazoo's noise I can play on your stream. Dude. I would do it if I knew how to. If you want to explain to me sometime how to do it, I'd be only too happy to put it in there. What about if I made this one that we're going to change this to I think I prefer that as a background color. And then each item on the list maybe has the list backing. I have no idea how he did it. I think it only works on Windows. Oh. Well, of course I could manually trigger one. Well, yeah, no, I don't suppose they'd let you trigger it with a chat thing because people will go nuts with it, right? It's got to be a way. Got to be a way. I need to grab another bottle of water here. Time for you all to go nuts in the chat room. I will be right back. Cocoa type. I don't know that you can act incredibly formally. I don't know, but if it helps, I did think of you with an English accent when you said those. If that helps. I say, good fellows. What's one doing? What? Popped out for a little tiffin. Little apples and pears. Go to the foot of my stairs. Would you Adam and Eve it? All right, let's have a look here. So, for the list, wondering if we want to add some spacing here. I thought it was just spacing. Have I got that wrong? Is that wrong? I thought it was just spacing. I guess that's very wrong. Yeah. All right. I'll remind myself. Oh, wait. Maybe I'm putting it the wrong one. If you don't show up to my chat and guess those words soon, I'm just going to spoil it. Oh, hell no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I can't go to my deathbed not guessing those two words. I will make it to your streams this week or stream. I can't. I gotta get them. It's like a lifelong thing now. Doesn't matter how long it takes. It's worse when there's only a couple, because when there's a bunch of them, you feel like you got a pretty good chance of hitting one of them, right? But when there's only a couple of them, it just makes it infinitely more annoying. And I know that you love that, and I hate to have to admit it to you. Dang it. Okay, I really thought it was spacing. I guess I forgot it. Can I put... I also don't... One of the things I don't like is this line in here. Just... Yeah. Is there a way... Swift UI list styling. It's the best description I could think of there. Styling list views. The ultimate guide. Okay. It's the ultimate guide, folks. Now, plain, grouped, not helping. Headers, footers. Ah. Wait. Ooh, there's some good stuff in here. Foreground color. List row background. Let's start with that one. Wait, before I go any further. No. Okay, put that on the wrong thing, didn't we? Needs some separation in there. God, these colors are awful. They looked good until I started using them. Separators also have to be removed with UI kit the same way as the background color. Interesting. So you're saying this one here doesn't work? I'm gonna try it. I'm not saying I don't believe you, but I'm gonna try it. I hate to say it, Cocoa Type looked like they went away. I feel like the stuff on this list is really cool and actually somewhat surprising. So don't feel bad. I never feel bad about it. I just randomly type. That's what I do. I'm curious about this badge thing too. That looks like it could be fun, right? It's a shame you can't zoom in on the picture here, but actually, you know what? Look, they also have a tint color in here for this. What's that look like? Cool. Get rid of that one. Can't tell if it's actually, I don't think it's changing. Well, I actually didn't want them anyway. But I do want to get, I'd love to get some separation between these cells. In case anyone's curious, this is a good article here by, I think it's Peter Fries. I'll put the link in the chat here in case anyone wants to take a look at this themselves sometime. Yeah, no, right? Glad you didn't attach the hot sauce penalty. Yeah. What I want, maybe, well, it's not what I want, but I really want the line to go all the way across. I mean, that's what I really want it to do, right? I don't mind having a list row separator in there, but I would just, I don't know why it doesn't go across all the way. It doesn't go after your Batman villain. I wish it was. Because then maybe I'd know more about this list stuff. Look, see how it doesn't go to the edge on that side, but it does on that side? I want one that goes to the edge on both sides. Because I just don't, I don't like the way it sits there like that. Yeah, notice this too. Look at that thing about when it hits the top, right? I guess I'll probably have to not make it transparent so that it doesn't change the tint, the background. Pick up the color behind the top at the job application part, right? I want that to just stay blue all the time. Not going to go into the edge is the standard for table views. I know, but I don't like it. Never have. You wouldn't want well, I wouldn't have a choice, right? If I had a non-standard UI thing, I'd run the risk of Apple not pointing to the human guidelines and saying, nah. So I probably don't have a choice anyway. Because you don't want to have to get into that battle, right? I feel like I need to tweak this color a little bit. I feel like it should be just a little bit brighter. And maybe just a smidge less on the saturation. So that it's easier to read the text. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not actually going to have black text anyway. I thought I had a dark shade in here somewhere. If they point to the human interface guidelines, just claim not to be human and say they don't apply to you. That would be an awesome argument. It's the accent, right? Imagine. I'm not a human. I'm English. Let's change this one. I'm not a human. Doesn't apply. Just let it in the store. That's all I'm saying. Text. Okay. I feel like I gotta clean this up a little bit. There we go. And then foreground color. Doesn't apply to me, Apple. I'm not human. All right, we got to find a color that works better than that. I got an idea. Let's do this. Let's make a new color set and call this text. Okay, let's not call it anything. Text title. Okay. I'm going for almost black, but color I'm looking for, maybe something like that. Feels a bit better. Certainly better than black, I think. And then for the footnote, let's change this one to text footnote. And this one I really don't want to be that obvious. So let's make it blend in a bit more, right? Sorry, that's tickled me. I'm not human. You can't get me, Apple. Doesn't take much to please me. All right, a little bit better. Yeah. Sorry, yeah, I'm actually see, they're not going to buy into it. A cat would never take the time and trouble to learn to program. Sorry, I'm actually a cat who taught myself to program. Please point me to the fig instead. Feline interface guidelines, if I had to guess. Although, really, what it would be is, sorry, I'm actually a cat who taught myself to program. I don't give a fig. All right, and we're gonna this job applications thing at the top. We'll fix that too, because now that looks weird in there. But this feels a bit better. Definitely got to fix the. See, the color's not bad on the top section, right? Sort of the system section. Once the list contents gets behind it, I kind of like that. I just don't like that before it gets there. That kind of slightly different. I guess it's not bothering me that much now that I look at it. Or is it? No, it is, right. Maybe the blue needs to be a little less saturated. Feline interface guidelines. They've got to have all kinds of different documents. It's true. Yeah. The sloth one is always slow to compile, right? Obvious joke there. Bring the saturation down some. That's a bit better, but now the preview title text feels a little, I don't know, something needs a little more punch to it. Do we need a shadow behind the list view or something just to make it, just to give it a little more punch? Or actually, do we add a gradient to the background? Maybe that's the problem. What it is, at least as I'm looking at it onto the screen here, not on the device, and I know I got to check it on the device, but I just feel like down here, I don't know, it's just foreground content and the background are blending a little too much. The best named one is the porcelain interface guidelines. Porcelain. Porcelain. If you're a pig, yeah, that's the one you want to have, right? Although, what if you're a horse? Huh? Now you're stuck because you're gonna have to use the hig. Oh wait, no. I guess you could use the equestrian, the egg equestrian interface guidelines. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking about out of my pony and trap. I think you can figure the rhyming slang on that one, right? Okay, this is better than it was. Not, in my opinion, fantastic yet, but it's better. Let's take a look at this now. See, yeah. See, now we want to. You noticed? I'm wondering when that goes to the background like that, and I'm going to put a color on this page too. Because you have this white up here and it kind of makes this blue bit look weird, right? Yeah, so, all right, let's do this. Before I go any further, let me find it here. Okay, add view. Let's go to the add view. This one we're going to have to do some other trick that we've done before. Because we don't have a list view, we will have to put in probably a rectangle that goes out of the safe area. Horse would be equine. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, equine interface. Yeah. I'm trying to come up with one that would be dig. Dog doesn't count because that would be a canine. Yeah. Wow, can we really not come up with an animal beginning with dinosaurs? Dinosaur interface guidelines? They're technically extinct, but there's still a few around. Or if you want to listen to Ancient Aliens, there's a few more of them around. Yeah. It's got to be it, surely. I think you're going to have to go with dinosaurs. Yeah. Yeah. No, wait. Hold on. I think I've gone down the wrong path here. Yeah, Peter. No, Peter. Well, what's that one that we had earlier? Yeah, that's right. But dinosaur isn't a genus the way canine, feline, plus. This is true. Yep, you're very. Equine is. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. There probably is one, right? Some really obscure thing that I'm too stupid to know. There's got to be one, though. Okay, that's better. I would still love to make that not white at the top there, right? If I can make that not white, this suddenly feels a whole lot more pleasant. Certainly this screen looks a whole lot better now it's got the color on it. God, I'm really struggling to come up with one. Twitch appropriate, you'd have the Delphine interface guideline for dolphins. There you go. Well done. Did you go on truthful? How much searching did it take to find that? Because I gotta believe it took some. Take me a hell of a lot longer than it took you. Actually add application, right? A little. Yeah, no, you're a lot smarter than I am. I love the way that I said that like it needed saying. Don't think it needed saying. Oh, You know what? Let's just do this. Although this one is going to be a problem. That's not going to do it. Yeah. And I'm actually regretting doing that already. Can you take... I don't know if you can apply this to a group. Can you apply alignment to a group? I guess not. Do I need to do an H stack of 1? Guess I do. Oh, sorry. Oh, I didn't see that coming. Didn't think that was going to work. I knew all the others from your spelling bee days. Somehow this is the second time this has come up in 2 days. Wow. There are no coincidences. But Delphine wasn't one I remembered. Yeah. Remember, there's no coincidences. Just saying. If it wasn't for the fact that I know you're so smart, I'd almost think it was made up because it just sounds, Delphine, dolphin, just sounds, you know. But I believe you. Okay, I really thought that that was going to... I really thought that was going to do it. I do the trailing. Oh, you know, because... Yeah. I know why. Because this one over here is overruling this one here. That's why. So let's take this one out of there. Google never lies. You know, as I'm always saying, it must be true. If it wasn't true, you couldn't put it on the internet. That's your quote for the day. If it wasn't true, you couldn't put it on the internet. I don't really want to have to rebuild all of this just for this one thing, but am I going to have to? Yeah, I'm going to have to, aren't I? Okay. I want all of those to have leading, but I also want another one. Oh, I'm just looking for ways to be lazy and not have to rebuild this whole thing. And I think I just figured it out. There you go. That just feels so incredibly hacky, but it works. For instance, Peter Whittam specializes in internal medicine. His medical interests and expertise include the evaluation and care of patients with multiple ongoing medical conditions and the care of older patients. Yeah, sounds totally true. Actually, you know what? I got a bad feeling that there actually is someone, a doctor with the same name. Just saying. For some reason, that just rings a bell for some reason. I know that there's some... Yeah, okay, here you go. Wait. Okay, the scary part about that, as you well know, is that I was born in Essex. I'm a time traveler. It's true. Can't you spot the faint trace of Boston accent? There is a lot of my folks up that way, I believe. Yeah. And wouldn't it be appropriate that I would live somewhere called Kittery? You know? So it's not surprising, but also freaky that they did come from Essex. But I didn't come from Steeple Parish. Nobody wanted or cared to know that, but now that you do. Okay. UI Kittery. Oh. Just let the tumbleweed go through. Okay, this is good. I like this. I just don't want to have the space at the top. So, why do I have the space at the top? Let's think about that for a second. Because everything is center aligned on the screen, that's why. Hang on. So, fix that. How do I tell a V-stack to align it to the top? How do I do that? How do I tell a this whole thing? Oh, of course. I just put a space out there. No. Not of course. You know what? I can't put it there though. Good old spacer, right? Let's see, where did I get it? So I received my BSc with honors, of course. Estate management from the University of Greenwich. It's pronounced Greenwich, by the way, not Greenwich, just in case America wanted to know. London, England. He's a professional member of the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors. God, I sound boring. Outside of real estate, Mr. Williams' interests include soccer, tennis, squash, golf, scuba diving, and traveling. Well, they nailed the rest of it. I actually was the first person and voted most likely in my class to win a soccer match while scuba diving off the Great Barrier Reef. And I did that. All right? Again, if it wasn't on the internet, if it's on the internet, it's got to be true. Just saying, right? I don't think anyone's beaten my record yet. Let's run this on my phone here. Let's see how this looks. Just kidding, folks. Someone really did beat the record. Oh, man. Come on, run it on my iPhone. Let's see how it looks. Run it any time now, Xcode. No. I almost forgot Nicholas was out there. He was so quiet. Oh, because I don't know. Okay. Forget it. Just run it here then. Okay, that's a little too close to the top. We need some padding at the top. And then we're going to do the save button. And who was it? Maybe Cocotype. Was it you? I saw someone playing around with the half. What do they call it? The half sheet. You know what I mean? In the new one. I think that was you, right? And I think part of the problem is because they ignore safe area here. I don't know, maybe it's not. Let's add to the top, just a small amount. I think that might do it. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Yeah. I don't know why the keyboard. Wait. Oh. Yeah, I do, because I'm looking at it next code. Apparently I have a wife, Kristen, and a daughter, Susan. Oh, and daughter is the blues and rock. Oh, see, I'm okay with the blues. Rockabilly. Okay. There actually is someone in my family with one of those names. That's the other scary part. My immediate family. Is a blues and rockabilly musician originally from Burnham, now Burnham was close to where I was born, whose song Sunsets of My Mind got a lot of airplay. See, I have been busy. I have done a lot of things. Just telling you. I see that you've not mentioned my scuba diving tennis record, though. Too embarrassed? Too untrue? All right, let's do this save button here, shall we now? Let me pull up, because I think I had a style that I liked. Let me go over to, I think it was this one. Don't look at the geometry reader stuff. Cocoa type, don't look at that. Don't look. You'll burn your eyes out. Don't look. There's a save button around here somewhere. Oh, Burnham, Maine. Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. England has a Burnham, of course, because, you stole them all. There's a Burnham on Crouch, a Burnham on Thames, and another one I can't think of right now. I think that's the one I want. I didn't think this is going to be bad. Let's see. Yeah. $300 is not a valid floating point literal. Oh, okay. Insert 0. No. There. Can I put infinity.0? Nicholas says I was messing around with half. Oh, Nicholas, you were messing around with half sheets. Sorry. Maybe it was you I read on Twitter. Maybe. What do you think? You like it? Do you think it'll be useful? I wasn't convinced of the use case. What do you think of it? Let us know. Sorry, Nicholas. I knew somebody I was following wrote something about it. my button color was going to be, I knew I should have left those assets open. I think it was color 4. You went with the full sheet, so you didn't really feel it was all that? Is that what you're saying? Oops. It looked odd. Yeah, no, that's kind of what I was. Every example I'd seen, I really couldn't make sense of why it was a thing. I think because in my mind, when I saw the half sheet, I just immediately thought it was like a share sheet with buttons on it, right? And I was like, well, then just use the share sheet. That's what I thought. I'm going to just nudge that button down, but I don't think... Well, I guess I could just do that. I don't know. That seems too much, doesn't it? That's just weird, having that button down there like that. Oh, found another one. Okay, now I'm a resident representative of the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, is pictured at a news briefing in Colombo. It wasn't me, it was nowhere near the country. To explain reasons for delays to a landmine project on the northern Jaffna Peninsula. Whittam said the global head of the UNDP landmine operation, Ian Mansfield, will arrive in Sri Lanka next week to sort out a dispute over the composition of the survey teams. Well, if that doesn't sound like a bunch of political people just avoiding doing something, I don't know what does, right? It totally isn't me. I want to go back with the scuba diving tennis dude. From the version of England that Austin Powers is from. Oh, I don't know. Suddenly I'm changing my mind. Oh, man. If you've never seen it, you need to see it. So I'm sure you're all familiar, because not with the film. Film is so much better than the series, I think. But there was a film called What We Do in the Shadows. Fantastic. It's going to be a cult classic one day. They did a TV series. And I didn't think the TV series was as good. But here's the holy crap. Here's the tie-in. In the TV series, there's an actor, Matt Berry, who's so funny. And he has a comedy program he did in England called Toast of London. If you've not seen it, you got to watch it, because it's like Austin Powers meets acting. It's hilarious. He's very talented. He did one where he went to Hollywood, Toast in Tinseltown as well. All right, we got to see this guy, don't we? And is that link long enough for you? Oh. Yeah, he does. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, I feel bad for laughing. No, no, I don't. I can't get over that link. Okay. All right. I need this button to be in the middle of the screen. Thinking. It's not going to do it, is it? No. Why did I even think that would do it? Am I gonna have to wrap this in something? I guess I am. Actually, that's not so bad because I might add another button to this at some point. So it wouldn't be too terrible. I can't get that guy's teeth out of my head now. Damn it. Oh, you know what? Now I'm gonna hang on. I'm gonna suffer the same problem I did before, aren't I? Yeah. It needs to be outside of that V-stack. Otherwise, top part. Oh, actually, you know what? That's exactly not bad. And that's worse. Okay, yeah, all right. We need this to be bold. And we need it to be bigger. Let's go with that. There is a picture of a man who can handle his ketchup. Okay, that's gonna be the quote of the night right there. Tonight's stream is just, there's a man who can handle his ketchup. It looked, oh my god, sorry. It looked like he'd been trying to get the top off the bottle. Just... Oh, that's so mean. I know you're all laughing. Just admit it and be done with it. I'm the only one can be seen on the stream. Okay, that is a lot better, right? I think we started the day pretty badly. Not feeling like I'm finished here, but I'm feeling like that's pretty good. And I'll probably add a cancel button for those who may not be familiar with the swipe down, just to be completely, make it as user-friendly as possible, right? Let's do that. Oh man, that is the quote of the day right there. When did I get to be so terrible? No, I've always been this bad. Okay. Let's just make this. Or red may be too much. Well, we'll see. I may have to change that red. It just feels a little bit too, And then Dismiss, that's what I'm looking for. Cocoa type, you bring out the worst in me. Which implies there's a best of me too. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I mean, this should probably save button should really be a green or something. If I'm going to use red, I got to use a green, right? It's just got to be the thing. What if I do it dark? Is it dark green? No dark green? Okay. We may end up having to make a custom one because that doesn't really stand out all that much, does it? May have to work on that a little more. We'll see. I can't look at your chat without laughing. Hey, you're bringing out the mocking the English behaviours. What do you mean bringing them out? Isn't that just like a natural thing for everyone on the planet? Like, you don't have to bring it out. It's just a thing. It's all right. We're used to it, you know. Come the revolution again. All right. I think I do want a bit more space between these two buttons, but that's not terrible. Still don't like that white bit up there. I actually wish this whole thing would go that darker shade right there. That'd be really nice, but all right. The more I look at it, the more I don't like that brown. And then we've got the details one here. We've got to do the details screen. We've got to do the edit screen. And then we also got to have some fun and do the onboarding stuff as well, right? Oh, that's just awesome. Totally made my night. All right, what is it? 10 o'clock. I feel like I've got somewhere with this today. I don't know where, but it went somewhere. No, not really. Last night on the stream I was watching, we were practically worshipping English. What? Oh, I'm gonna have to go back and see the replay. What were you drinking? Oh my gosh. What were you drinking, dudes? By the way, is the audio level all right? It's not peaking too hot because it looks like I'm just tapping on the red here. I want to make sure I don't tap on the red. So, yeah. But I think OBS has held up well today. Gotta say, right? I don't know why, but it crashes every time I close it. But yeah, I'm closing it. What do I care? All right, yeah, we're just coming up on the 2-hour mark here. By which I mean I kept typing "Thank you, Paul" in all caps every time Nutterfry found an answer on hacking with Swift. Oh, I see. Well, okay, we'll take it. Yeah. I found. Oh no, it was on YouTube. A couple of good Swift things. I'll have to dig the links out for it. Yeah. Between Paul and Nutterfy, I think they pretty much have it wrapped up, right? I don't even know why we bother. Yeah. All right. I just gotta find a better. I'm not gonna be happy unless I can find a better color for this tonight. A little bit lighter. Let's go for parchment color. No, not that. No, seemed like a good idea, but it wasn't. No, too saturated, right? I don't want to go back to just boring over very close to white, but it's very readable. That's better. It doesn't have the punch to it that I want it to have. Oh, it's just something missing. It's very uninteresting, I guess is the way I'm going to describe it. Johnny doesn't count it anymore. No, there's too many great English people in the app where we could pull. Mike, Dave, you. Oh, thank you. Mike. Who's Mike? Mikey? Oh, wait. You mean Mikey, podcaster Mikey? Is that who you mean? I can't think of his last name. And Johnny doesn't count because the more I think about it, the more I realize Johnny really didn't design an awful lot, did he? He took Braun's designs, tweaked them, and then they pretty much stayed the same after that. I'm sorry, but that's just the way I see it. Yeah, Mike, is that... Gosh, what's his name? I'm thinking of Mikey, the podcaster. That's who I'm thinking of. Can't think of his... Yes, thank you, Mike Harley. That's it. Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah. Relay FM. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm happy to even be somewhere underneath that pile. I'm happy for them to tread on top of me. It's okay. Thank you. Jeez. Hey, by the way, just want I'm not being asked to do this, but I was hanging out on Michaela Caron's stream the other day, watching the Vapor stuff. You should check those out. She's awesome as well. Go by Mikey. Yeah, I just call him Mike, but I don't know. Mikey seems more friendly, pronouncing the E. I don't know. More annoying? Yeah, more annoying, right? Yeah. You know what I think it is? Who's the other guy? On the Pen Addict podcast. I think he calls him Mikey. I can't think of his name. It'll come to me. He has the pen company. Great stuff. Follow them on Instagram. Yeah, something's not popping out to me as much as I want it to. I think what it is, the items don't feel separated enough. And then that's why I'm questioning that maybe a list view is not the right way to go. You are familiar with the Pen Addict? Yeah, I'm very familiar with the Pen Addict podcast. I just can't remember his name. I haven't listened to it in a little while, but they started me down a terrible journey. Hang on. That is why. That is why I totally ended up going down the whole rabbit hole again with electronic pencils and fountain pens. It's entirely their fault. And now I've just drawn on my t-shirt. But thankfully it's pencil. Also, if you ever use pencils, these, I'm going to go there. I now see you've started it now. I'm trying to remember the name of this one. I can't because it's covered up. Oh, it's Kuratoga, I think it's pronounced. And every time you push down to do something, it rotates the nib a little bit, so the pencil is always sharp. Brilliant invention. I've reached 100 messages today with Restream chat. Well, 97 of those are Coco type, so it goes to him. And you on or near you. Oh, wait. Yeah. I know he's laughing right now. I know Coco type is sitting there laughing. On. I must. I can't guess it now because it's not on the stream. It's not acceptable. He's laughing his ass off right now. I know he is. Oh shit! It's not a. Oh, okay. I got a few I can guess on the next stream. He's laughing his ass off. Damn you! Oh jeez. How did I not? Ugh. Oh man. See, rabbit holes. Oh, that bug. Oh, when are you streaming next? You streaming in the next 5 minutes by any chance? Oh man. Okay, yeah. I'm wondering if instead of these being a list, each one should be its own little card with a little space in between to make it nice and identifiable. What do you think? Is that overdoing it cosmetically just for the sake of it not being a list? I just feel like these are... They don't feel very separated to me, is what I'm getting at. This because there's no... I want to see a very faint amount of blue in between each one. Your robot is mad at me again. Oh! Wait. Would that have been on Twitch? Oh, I guess it doesn't come through on Restream. Interesting. Hang on. Give me a second. I want to check this. Hang on. Oh, I guess it won't show it to me because I'm already... Yeah, it's gonna... Hang on. Let's see. Oh, actually, no, it is showing me the history. Yeah. It doesn't show that it's banned you from anything. I'm mad at you now. I could stream the video. No. Next time you stream. Damn it. I just... you know what? I'm just going to have a pile of these sitting in front of me every day for the next few days. Right here, like. Putting them on the table right now. You can probably hear it. And then I'll be like, oh yeah, Coco type stream. By the way, let me show you. Okay, I'll do it. I'm going to turn this into the Pen Addict stream. I'm going to show you this awesome pen. So, looks like a pen, looks like a normal pen. It is a normal pen, but it's actually designed, if you can see this. Hang on, probably can't. It'll take any kind of refill pen insert. It's designed to take them all, and it adapts itself to make it work. It's got a little... You're totally not going to see it on the stream. It's got a little mechanism that'll basically fit any size of pen refill. Brilliant. His grass off, and I said, oh, okay. Oh, you're okay. Oh, man. Well, yeah, next stream. That's it. Crossing at least one of them off the list. Wait, one of them was on or near the desk, and the other one is something else but plural. So, hey, now it's probably worse that I'm going to get down to one. I don't know. Oh, man. See, we have a lot of fun here tonight on the stream, right? and somewhat reasonably looking awful designs. Certainly, this one doesn't look so bad. Oh, man. Hey, one other quick thing I want to mention. Coco Type, I think it was you that mentioned the Power Wash Simulator. I think it was you, right? Well, I played it, and oh my god, it was good. And already completed the career. I don't even call it storyline, but I already completed that. And I don't know if you have, but it was great. Great ending to it as well. Yeah. Okay, Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific, folks. We're gonna now the remaining items on this list. There you go. Oh man. Oh, that just I swear I must have guessed those at some point. Maybe it was so obvious that I didn't. Yeah. He's gonna be like, no, I was just kidding. That wasn't it at all. Oh man. You played it together on your stream once. Wasn't it great? I was really like, I don't know how this can be that much fun. Oh my god, it was fun. I unlocked everything, completed the career path. Very satisfied at the end of it. I think the hardest one for me, there was... Oh, I think it was the boot. There's like the whatever you call it, shoe house, boot house in the thing. There was one little bit I couldn't find, and it drove me nuts for ages. But I got there in the end. But yeah, the end. I don't want to spoil it for anyone that's not played it, but it was really great. Yeah. I even sat and watched all the way through the credits in case there was any hidden thing at the end. Okay. I think we may wrap it up, folks. I think we just tipped over the 2-hour mark. It's getting a little warm here in my room. Such a good game, and it dropped while I was incredibly busy. Oh, yeah, that's what I used it for. I used it as a relaxation game. It was in between things. It was like my day ended, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go and power wash some shit. But come on, own up. Well, you like me. By the time you'd finished the game, you were like, I want to go buy a power washer now. And then I got to find something to power wash. You've not finished it yet. Okay, it's a huge lot of fun at the end. But yeah, at the end, I'm like, I want a power washer. Everywhere I looked outside, I was like, oh, you could power wash that. let me just go to the trunk of the car. Oh man. All right, folks, we're going to leave it there. We've got a little bit of some good cleanup here today. Next session, we'll do a little more cleanup, and we will get into the onboarding experience. You just did, the washroom. Oh my God, yeah. That one was not the worst one I had to do, but one where you're like, oh, you got to check every little corner. It's great. Nice touch, by the way, in the game, I thought, was the little kind of, time-lapse replay at the end was a nice little touch, I thought. And by the way, if I remember rightly, I think that game was built with Unity, of all things. Not to imply that Unity is crap, but I just was surprised. Anyway, yeah. Now I need them to release, like, I don't know, they could call them dirt packs, dirt extension packs, right? Yeah. All right, folks, we're going to leave it there. Next time around, we're going to do some more. Like I say, I feel like we're getting towards the onboarding. We still have the details view and the edit view to do. It is Unity. Yeah, there you go. And we got those to do and the onboarding, but I feel like we're getting really close. And at least close from a 1.0 perspective, right? Already got a list of ideas to make this better. Calendars and all that kind of stuff, but reminders and all of that. But again, we're going to get this to a 1.0 product. And with that, that is it, folks. Thank you so much for hanging out and having some fun here with us tonight. Coco Type, thank you for solving my background problem and teasing the crap out of me as always. Always appreciate it. And damn it, I'm going to be there tomorrow, Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific. You watch me finish that list, maybe. Take care of yourselves, folks, and I will see you next time. See you later.